Okay, so just gonna follow up from what we spoke on last week. Okay, so our overall, that looks super ugly. Our overall structure is still bearish, technically, right? Even though we now have a pretty deep pullback, a very structured pullback, right? But we could very well, hold on, we can very well see, you know, a change of momentum direction, right, to support this, right? So it's super weird here because you have pretty much two scenarios here. You have a potential unwillingness to continue lower, to continue higher, and that'll give you lower movement, or you have like a EURUSD. You have like you have a EURUSD scenario where we actually broke structure, right? So you have to pretty much correlate both of them and pretty much play based off of them. I want to see I want to see either one show its hand to give me a direction that it wants to take. So as we're diving in, right, to now our intradays, right, our intraday is bullish, right, where these being your intraday legs, right, minor intraday, minor intraday, minor intraday. Last time the DXY formed equal highs with another high form. That's a little too, that's not close enough for me to consider equal highs, bro. But if we do see, for example, since this is currently bearish, if we see a change of momentum structure here, then I wouldn't target here. I'd probably target up here, right? Because this is solidifying structure and it could give a scenario to the upside. But for the most part, I don't see those being equal highs. Doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense to me. It's not close enough. But, right, as we're coming here, right, as we're pretty much making our way to potentially continue higher, right, this, the orange high with the high before. What are you talking about?
Can I show you, if you don't mind?
Yeah.
Okay. So this.
Are you talking about that? Okay,
Yeah.
I see that. I see what you mean. It could very well do that, and that's pretty much supporting this narrative here, right? Where intraday is bullish, intraday is structured, and this could easily incline us to move higher, right? But there's two obstacles here, right? Let's say we react from here, right? We give that bullish break of structure, right? We now come into an interruption point here. Why? Because this is our final push up before a very impulsive move down. But I wouldn't really want to play this. If I'm going to play anything in that bearish scenario, it's going to be anywhere here. Why? Because this is a continuation of this, right? So I consider this to be one leg. I consider this to be another leg. So we could easily see something like that. Just because if we reach back up here, this is potentially an SC here, right? If we come back up here, this is a very, very steep retracement, and we're breaking a ton of levels. A ton of levels of structure. That's not a structure point. Sorry about that. Bringing a lot of structure points in order to get there. So if that were to happen, we cannot assume that, right? We cannot assume this. That does not make sense. Why? Because you don't have enough data to support that, right? Because if we react from here, right, our intraday, our minor intraday, our scalp, will be bullish, right? So even if we get a reaction, this is still a pullback unless we get an unwillingness or we have corrective structure and then we fail to then give the unwillingness, right? So in this type of scenario, it does not make sense to me to want to take that because I'm guessing a high, so I'm more so aiming for conservative entries. All right, well, conservative, right, high risk, unrealistic, right? Just see that, unrealistic, high risk, conservative. So just going through those scenarios, if this is going to reverse, let's say here, that makes sense to me because this could be seen as one full leg. Why? You see one push here that broke previous levels of structure to then potentially mitigate something here, which then led to our leg down. So from a realistic standpoint, this is my point of invalidation in terms of continuing structured moves. Right? Yes, like I said, this here could promote a lot more higher RR, but the probability of seeing those moves occur, seeing those moves happen and actually play out perfectly is extremely slim. I'm not going to say slim to none. I'm going to say it's extremely slim. Because it's possible, just not realistic in my eyes, especially with DXY. So, right, the reason why I'm even having this marked out here is because I'm looking at previous order flow. Right, order flow here, right, mitigated, came back, mitigated there, right? And then this is where we see the launch in price. So this is the last potential unmitigated area of potentially this bullish order flow in play. So if this breaks, right, then I would more so lean towards a continuation bias, right? Or we could even see that scenario where we break order flow here, right? And so this pullback does not make much sense, and we could start reaching any type of POIs there, right? But even though we are having to break previous levels of structure, we need that catalyst to come into play, give us the unwillingness into a conservative entry. That's ideally what you want to see. Okay, so right, moving over to EURUSD, same scenario, right? Like I said, potentially you could see this entire wick as a potential candle, right? Mitigation, and moving lower, right? And the reason why I pointed that out, I saw that on H1, right? I saw that on H1. So, right, seeing this type of reaction here could be probable. I'd love to see, bullish movement just show itself so you can actually have a directional bias and have our intraday now support our overall structure, if that makes sense. So for the most part, it's super sloppy. And then keep in mind, tomorrow is inauguration day, so you might just see one stupid wick tomorrow. But for the most part, I want to lean over to this bullish bias, especially because, right, we could easily see, right, this as a mitigation here, right? And we could see this as a potential liquidity grab, which induces the bullish order flow to then take structure so that we can then continue our overall picture. And then this could all be seen as one bearish trap, right? Because we've seen this before, corrective structure, right? Inducement, reversal, right? We've seen that many times, and we can easily see that right now. It's just we need to allow this to show its hand, and we can easily see a very good opportunity. Also, right, look at our daily, extremely bullish, right? Extremely bullish. Not only that, but we've seen demand start to show itself, so we can easily see demand just start to pop off. Or not even pop off, we can easily see it give us these deeper premium levels, and you could even see this as a type of break of structure if the momentum supports that overall bias when we're reaching these areas. But for the most part, if we do break, these intraday highs, which are inside there, then realistically this could still see higher pricing. Why? because our overall structure is still bullish. Unfortunately, we still haven't seen that inefficient pricing there. Would have been ideal, but I'm just trying to stress. I'm not stressing that. I'm trying to see what direction this is going to show its hand in, if that makes sense. And finally, EG, sloppy one, hasn't been moving that much, right? But the bias has not changed whatsoever, right? Just seeing this here, high unwillingness to break, super deep retracement, right? We could even see this as a mitigation, right? And although we're seeing a pause here, the only way for this to be unwillingness is if we take out a previous structure point. So we can easily see, right, a type of redistribution occur. Let me just draw that a little bit better, right? You could easily see some type of distribution occur. So now I want to see some type of low break before I start assuming any type of continuation conservative entry to then support a potential redistribution bias. All right. I even looked that up to show you guys. Yo, what is going on? Read this. Okay. There isn't many studies on this. I'm gonna find it. That's not redistribution. This is echt. This is echt. Redistribution. We'll just go here. All right, you see here. Right, we have our range set, correct? Have our liquidity grab and up thrust, right? After the setting climax, right? We now see our our range start to form inside of this overall range, right? But this inside range isn't an absolute rule in my eyes. That's something that you could see vary by the schematic. But what I'm waiting for, right? You see here. I want to see it show its hand and give me a retracement, right? To then continue the potential redistribution. Showing its hand, that's what I'm worried about. That's what I want to see. Yeah. But other than that, do you guys have any questions? All right, straight to the point today. I'm not trying to spend too much of your time. Any questions? Let's see. Also here, right, if we break this low, this is considered unwillingness, right, which would then come potentially here to then lower. That's something. That's pretty much what I want to see, and what would make a lot of sense to me. But yeah, so you go back here. Right, this is one I'm pretty much attentive to right now. I want to see what happens here. Let's see. Does anybody have any questions? Because I do have something I need your opinion on afterwards. Anybody? All good, all good. The boy, where's he at? Where's he at? Is Lewis in here? Yeah, he is. I know he got something cooking for me. No, honestly, it's a slow month. It's a slow month. For one, it's inauguration season. Two, I haven't seen much in terms of news. I haven't seen any type of catalyst bring any type of volatility into the market, right? Which is why we've seen stuff like this, you know, just overall this, right? You see messy. That means that I'm waiting for this something to show its hand so I can then catch the wave. That's what I'm pretty much waiting for. Nothing too crazy. Everything looks pretty sloppy right now. I'm not too concerned with catching any moves. Either way, I can't really trade right now until I finish the course. But yeah, anybody? Can't talk during the weeks. It's all good, bro. But also, I'm pretty sure our calls are going to be moved over to Tuesday. And I might stick to 7 p.m. It helps me with my sleep because if I do these at 9, I still have to go brush my teeth. I have to do all of that, wash my face, do all that before I go to sleep. And I'd end up sleeping easily 10:30. So this 7 p.m. time is a lot better for me to keep my sleeping schedule intact. But I can't do Wednesdays due to soccer and because of school. So I think I have a class. Actually, let me pull up my schedule. Tuesdays, Thursdays, I finish class at 5, so I could do them at 6 or 7. Yeah, that way I don't keep up. So even though the midweek call is meant for my US members, that way I don't keep you guys up at night. And then obviously we're still gonna keep the same time on Saturdays for the European people, so they're not out at the same time. So we'd relatively be doing the calls around the same time, right? Because in the UK, I believe it's like 6 p.m. ish, or even anywhere in Europe, it's anywhere between 5 and 7 for the weekend calls, and then it'd be around 7 for the US calls. So I think that kind of works out. But yeah, Thursdays I'm done with class at 5, so probably 6 or 7 I'm able to start working. Or get on these calls. Do you react? I don't know what you're saying. This makes a lot of sense to me, and this. 2 potential areas there. Yeah, 124. Yeah, I think it's a much better time, even for the people that do stay up from Europe. I could maybe even do 6, but no, I think 7 would probably be the optimal time. That way I get to get stuff done before. Let's see. Hey, how deep are you in RCV? How long have you been in the group? Approaching 2 months now. Okay, so you're about to be done with the 6 weeks. Or you're around 6 weeks. Okay, so because I don't really expect that kind of question from my more experienced members, right? You can't just tell me, do you think this is going to react from 15-minute SC? For one, I don't know what you're talking about. 2, there's usually not enough data for me to predict that, right? You trade based off reactions. You don't trade based off of predictions, right? We talked about this on last call with understanding assumption and pretty much how assuming things can kill you in the market, okay? So that's a 1. And the current uptrend, would you classify as higher highs, higher lows? Depends what level of structure you're talking about. Right, what are you talking about? Are you talking about swing structure? Are you talking about intraday structure, minor intraday structure, scalping structure? What level of structure are you referencing, and which levels of structure are you correlating when making that decision? Right, that's what you have to tell yourself to answer those questions. Okay, does that make sense? Yeah, I was referring to intraday structure. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, so if you want to talk about this, all right, minor intraday here, right, this is pending, right, minor intraday, oh, I'm sorry. I'd probably consider that intraday. Oh, I'm sorry, I consider that minor intraday. I'd consider these scalping ranges, I'm sorry. Whereas intraday would be these legs. Whereas then swings would be these legs. Like this leg too. Or like this entire leg. Okay, so you see how you have to correlate the levels of structure? Are you going to 1 hour? Right, one swing leg here. Another swing leg here. Right, intradays. There. Minor intradays are the legs inside of that, and scalping legs are the legs inside of that. That will be on the course, bro. It would take me way too long to explain it on here, and especially to make it make sense. Right, but all it is really, all it is reading legs. That's all it is. If you can't read legs, you won't be able to read structure, period. Right, leg, leg, leg. Leg, leg, leg. Full leg. Right, full leg, full leg. But yeah, cool. I do have I need something that, well, I need to talk to you guys about something, and I kind of want an opinion from it. So when I release the new material, obviously everything's already in place. I just need to finish the videos. I probably won't watermark them. I don't really see a point in the watermark, because then I'm gonna have an RCV watermark, and then I'm gonna have the watermark of your emails, names, and IPs on there. So I don't want it to be blocking too much of the screen. So I'll probably not watermark them with the RCV logo. Either way, I don't really see what's the point. I can easily prove that it's my material, it's my voice. So I probably won't do that. Right? And once I do that, I want to know if it's okay with you guys, if it would be cool to post the old course. That doesn't include webinars, that doesn't include pair breakdowns, it doesn't include anything outside of the regular course. Pretty much what was leaked a couple months ago. I just wanted to know if it would be cool if I posted that on YouTube. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want to take the leverage away from resellers, for one, and two, for example, a lot of people in here joined because they saw the leaked course. Right, there's a couple of people that joined because of that. Right, so I think it's a very smart move. Right, I don't see it hurting the business. Either way, I don't care if it hurts the business. It's not like, it's the end of the world. But yeah, pretty much I just want to post what was leaked. That's pretty much what I'm doing. So yeah, feel free to DM me about that. Talk about it in the chat if you want. It doesn't really matter to me. But yeah, pretty much go from there. But I'd say no. So what I want to know if you say yes or no, and I want to know why you say yes. Right, because I'm not doing it because, for one, like the YouTube channel, I was really like wanting to do it, but for one, I think it's super corny. Two, I don't see like the point in it, besides me spending a bunch of unnecessary time that I could be spending on you, or I could be spending on school or anything else that I got to do. Right, like I said, I don't pitch the brand to anybody, so it's like I don't see the point in making free YouTube videos. And then I also don't want to be that guy posting on YouTube You know, pretty much like even specifically saying that how do I say this? I don't want to be that guy that's like saying like, oh, this is only for the private channel, or oh, this is only for the private Discord. I don't want to be that guy. I think that sounds super dumb, and it really shows what you're after. So the only reason why I want to do that, like I said, is I want to take the leverage away from people reselling the course, and two, like I said, like I don't have any like hidden agenda with this. Like for one, I wanted to know you guys' opinion before I made a decision. I already talked about it with the admins, but obviously you guys' word is ahead. Like, I don't care if you say no, but give me a valid reason to why you say no. And I don't care if you say yes, but give me a valid reason as to why you say yes. That's pretty much all I want. And smart my Telegram, that was... yeah, there's a ton of channels, bro. Like, also, I don't think it's even worth my time to pursue that stuff. I hate when, like, I don't even want to seem like I'm trying to hide anything. Most of this stuff you can probably learn without me, but you're learning it through my perspective, and I think that's the power of the group. Right, which is why I don't see a point in marketing the brand, doing anything like that, if that makes sense. You think the new content might get leaked? Let's fucking pray it doesn't. Oh, no. If they do that purposely, then yeah, we're going to have problems. We're going to have problems. I won't just let that slide. Yeah, but I mean, it's whatever. At the end of the day, it's whatever. Let's say I release the course. Let's say I release it next week. Let's say it gets leaked the next week after that. Right? Every time I have an issue, I'm going to tell myself, look, in 6 to 9 months, is this the issue still going to be an issue? Or will this issue have been being solved? Or have I accepted the loss and moved on? Right? It's the same thing I asked myself when the first leak happened. And like, here we are 8 months after the first leak. And it's cool. We're still doing good. Doesn't matter. Yeah, like, the harder you try to, I guess, protect something just shows me what your true incentives are. And I don't want to give that incentive. I'd say no, only because we paid for it. You know, of course, yeah, which is why we're talking about it. You worked hard on it for us, and we paid to learn your perspective. I personally don't really know, though. I see what you mean. But the course got leaked regardless, bro. Doesn't matter if you paid for it. It still got leaked. And people are still selling it today. How much was leaked? You don't even know about the... Oh, wait. Oh, no, I think you're new. How much was leaked? Just like the course. It's all over tons of websites. It was on YouTube. It was on Telegram. It's everywhere. It doesn't matter, though. The whole thing... What do you... So, your response... You're talking from a perspective of somebody that didn't know it was leaked, right? This leaked back in June, bro. It leaked back June, July-ish. The whole thing. Or leaks. No, bro, the whole course got leaked. I joined RCV after seeing all those videos on Telegram, then I found more groups for flexing. If you post on YouTube. Yeah, like I said, it's something that, like, I won't even, like, this isn't even something that's going to be done for, like, another month. I won't post it for another month, at least. But I feel like the move resonates with pretty much what I believe in. Oh, you can literally type in like I think RCVisionaries, but you switch like the I and the O, and you find the group with like the Telegram. I mean, with the whole course link there. Like, I'm probably find it right now. Let me see. Yeah, see, I'm about to post this in the group chat. Right, I don't want to open my Telegram because I don't want to open certain conversations. Cool. Let me see Discord. If you, okay, let me pull it up on screen. Okay. If you literally click, if you just type in RCVIS, you will see RCV, right? And you'll see that it has every single video from the course. Right? Let's see. Yeah, and there's nothing you can do about that group. Like, at the end of the day, it's what's it called? I just lost my train of thought reading your messages, my bad. Why are you pissed, bro? Because look, if anybody was mad about the leak, that means that you could have done every single thing that you've done to this point with just the course. Right, but a lot of people still message me today about asking me questions about inefficiencies, about sponsored candles, you know? And I don't think it's like, I don't think it's about, you know, having secrets about trading in a course. I think at the end of the day, it's how you use whatever you're using. If it helps business, I'm not even looking at it from a business perspective. I'm looking at more so just trying to, let's say, find people that are pretty much not interested in the group, but that are legitimately looking for something. You know, because there was a time where I didn't know what the hell to research, you know, because none of anything made sense. Most of it was BS. So eventually I got out of that, right? But it wasn't because of a course. I just want to cut that essential learning curve, if that makes sense. Yeah, help the community. And I mean, at the end of the day, like, I'm still doing these webinars every 2 times a week for the most part, unless when I took my break. And I know I missed one call. I don't remember why, but I know I've missed one call. But for the most part, I've been in attendance over 90% of the time, besides the break. You know, so I'm trying to look at it from my perspective, from the community's perspective, and from your perspective. So yeah, you guys don't have to give me an answer now. You guys can message me. You guys can talk about it in the chat. Or I could even bring it up in the chat and then just have people message me directly, and then we can go from there. Because if it's not cool with a lot of people, then that's fine. I won't do it. It's whatever, you know? Yeah, if it wasn't leaked, I wouldn't be considering it. If it wasn't leaked, I wouldn't consider it. I wouldn't. It would be whatever. But this will happen after, and I'll probably bring it up down the road again. after the new content's done. But yeah, hopefully I can just grind out those videos for the rest of the month. Like I think tomorrow is the first day of like my actual school schedule, so I finally get to actually routinize myself. Because for the past like week and a half, it's literally been phone calls on phone calls on phone calls. So, you live in a dorm? No, I live at home. Hoping to get a house this year though. That's my goal. Get a house this year. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. Like, no, but yeah, please give me you guys the opinions on what we talked about, and I will see you guys on Saturday. Yep, we've been on here for like 30 minutes. Maybe do a poll. Yeah, I don't know if you can do that on Discord. Can you do that on Discord? Yeah, I'll probably do voting emojis. Put in the announcements. I'll do it tomorrow, probably like later in the day, so that way I can everybody could have already watched the webinar that was gonna watch it, and go from there. But yeah.